problems as the day went on. Jeff Thomson bowled the first over of this third day to John Edridge.
And chance and caught, dropped. Had it almost long enough to be a chance. That's Ian Chappell. And a chance and caught. Caught by Redpath. Fletcher caught Redpath. Bowled Walker 24. Edridge not out 13. England 4 for 108. And through the field, it's going wide of gully down towards the boundary. A chase for Walters, and that's slowing up, but I think it'll go into the fence for 4. And Edridge gets a run. In fact, he could get 4 runs. It's going out towards the boundary. It will be 4. Yes, into the fence it goes. And there it is. It's going up wide of Redpath. Redpath not quite getting... Yes, he does. Well stopped. Coming back for 2. And caught by Greg Chappell. Once again, Greg Chappell has taken a catch for Australia. Greg caught Greg Chappell. Bowled Thomson for 9. Thomson has 2 for 29. The score 5 for 123.
So a big blow to England with the dismissal of one of their best, probably their best batsman in the form of Tony Greig.
And through the field, that's going down past Greg Chappell. A chase for Ian Chappell down to the boundary. I think the ball will beat them all. Thompson's flying round from fine leg.
Walker bowling to Knott. Oh, and in the air through the gully safely. Walters is chasing it as it goes into the boundary for 4. And England 5 for 152. The 152 runs came up in 248 minutes. There's Walker. Is ready again to bowl to Edridge. There's a lovely stroke through the covers. That'll be 4. Edridge on 45. Walters bowling. Good stroke. There's no one down at third man. That will be 4 runs. And Edridge moving on to 49. And Ian Chappell bowling to him. And there's the 50. 1 run down to square leg. England 5 for 176. It's been a very fine innings by Edridge. Upish behind point, behind square leg, over the top of Mallet into the fence for 4. Walters now to Edridge. And he's out. Caught leg glancing, Walters.
Courageous innings from John Edridge, a man who's shown his own side how to apply himself.
And runs here. Good looking shot by Knott. That could be 4. It's going out to the outfield. I think it'll just reach the fence, and yes, into the fence it goes. Good effort by Knott. Along the ground all the way. And that time it's over the top. And it races into the fence for 4 more. And a good shot from Titmus down through the mid-off area. A long chase for Jenner. He'll get to this. They'll take 3, a comfortable 3. Titmus goes on to 4. Not his 40. That's the 200 up for England. 6 for 200. And that's the follow-on saved. It's going down towards the boundary. 4 runs over the top of the slips again, and Titmus on to 10, and England does not have to follow on, so that's a milestone pass by England's batsman. Titmus 10, Knott 43, 6 for 209. And a French cut, a very lucky one for Knott. They've got 1, and that's his 50. Knott his third 50 of the series, a very fine batting effort. Knott is 50, Titmus 18, 6 for 224. And a fine-looking shot. That's a good shot from Knott. I think that could be 4. It's going out towards the boundary. Lilly's chasing after. He won't get to it. And 4 more to Knott. And he's hit hit that over the head of the bowler. That's a great looking shot on the first bounce. And that's the 50 partnership. Coming up in pretty fast time. They've only been playing now for 37 minutes since lunch, and about a few minutes before that, 40 minutes. 40 minutes for 50 runs in the most valuable batting of the whole English innings. He's out, yes, Walters has taken the wicket again. Titmus caught Marsh, bowled Walters for 22. Knott is not out, 62. 7 for 240. Walters 2 for 26. First ball with a new ball. And Knott straight through the covers, 4 runs. Well, that's taken some of the shine off straight away. It's going out to the boundary. Jenner won't get to it, and into the fence it goes. And back past the bowler, great shot. He really hit into that one. Straight back past the bowler, and that's one way to humiliate a fast bowler. Hit him straight back to the fence. Good shot from Underwood. That's going right down to the boundary. That should be 4. And once again, the Australian paceman has been driven back past himself. They really scored well off the new ball. 7 for 260. Knott is 78. And Moore, yes, down to the third man into the fence for 4. Well, that time he's connected. Out towards the boundary it comes. I think that should be 4. Yes, I think Walker can give that one up. Well, he wasn't behind the line, but the bat was. Well, England have got 3 hours to go, and they're batting really well. This late recovery is as good, if not better, than Australia's. In fact, it's very close to it. And over the top of slips, down to the fence it goes. It mightn't be 4. Will it be? Yes, it is 4. So in 1 hour's play since lunch, England have scored 92 runs. And Thompson to bowl to Knott.
Clean bowl. Well, it's the end of a great innings. Bowled very well, Lilly. Perhaps has deserved better figures. There's a nasty delivery. One of the deliveries that perhaps batsmen of Underwood's calibre shouldn't be receiving from the fast bowling, and in fact umpire Brooks had a word to Lilly. Lilly's approach surely now has got to be straight at the stumps, because Willis should not be able to handle his speed. I don't think that was intended. I think the full toss was not intended at all. It very nearly bowled Willis, in fact. Willis wandered up the crease, dropped his bat, and you probably noticed also that Marsh threw the ball at the stumps and hit them with Willis out of his ground, but I don't think an appeal was made. So Lilly again, Thompson, I should say. Comprehensively bowled, leg stump out of the ground. Willis bowled Thompson 2. Thompson to bowl to him. Nasty short one. Wasn't all that short again. I think we'll possibly give Thompson the benefit of the doubt on that occasion. That's the end of the innings. Underwood out, caught by Walker at mid-off. The bowling of Lilly for 27. Arnold not out 3. England all out for 295.
For the Australians, Rick McCosker was unable to open the innings. He's still suffering the after effects of that nasty blow sustained from that John Edridge hit to leg yesterday. And Ian Chappell, the captain, decided to come out with Ian Redpath. We join play now in the 5th over of the Australian second innings. Bob Willis is the bowler, and he's bowling to Ian Chappell.
And his chance, he could be out. Let's see what happens here. There's an appeal. That's on the ground. It was Lloyd. They're going to ask the two umpires are going to confer here. Now, there's a question of whether this was a chance or out or not. He's out. Yes, Ian Chappell's out. Caught by Lloyd. Ian Chappell caught Lloyd. Bowled Willis for 5. Australia 1 for 15. Here's the action replay.
This certainly is a sensation. Let's see if we can pick up this catch. Willis bowling to Chappell.
Greg Chappell gets that away on the onside. I'd say 4 runs all the way. There's a man coming round the boundary out. The ball's stopping, but still getting to the fence. And a beautiful stroke from Chappell. He really unwound that time, and that's out to the fence for 4.
And a very good shot by Chappell. Will he come back for his second? That's his 50. Australia 1 for 83. Chappell's 50 came up in the good time of 80 minutes. And there were 5 fours in that innings. He played some lovely strokes.
123 for 1 Australia at the start of the 4th day, 233 ahead, and Greg Chappell and Ian Redpath well in command when play had concluded on Monday. Weather conditions were good, but there was a hint of thunderstorms later in the day, and Australia certainly would want to set England a target of round about the 400 mark. England, for their part, would simply try and delay that declaration as long as possible with as many defensive ploys as they could manage. The pitch, well, that was perfect, and Bob Willis is the man who bowls the 3rd over of the day, and he's bowling to Ian Redpath.
There's a good stroke. Titmus, that 3rd man. Redpath gets 2 and also his half century. He's 51. The Australian total now 1 for 127. Off the edge, 4 runs. Willis still bowling at the northern end, bowling to Greg Chappell. Lovely stroke. That won't be stopped.
Australia 1 for 158. And that's straight down the ground. That should be 4. So Greg Chappell to 89 and the total to 162. And beautiful shot from Greg Chappell. This could be his 100. They might get 3 here. It's a chase down for Titmus. They've taken 2 and they come back for 3. There's the 100 to Greg Chappell. And he's not caught. It's going down past the slip fieldsman. That was a very streaky shot from Redpath, but he gets 4 for it. And walking away from his stumps to crack that hard through point. It's going out towards the boundary. Amos may just get to it. It's going to be close, but the ball wins. 4 to Greg Chappell. Greg Chappell to 107. Redpath 75. Australia 1 for 190, a lead now of exactly 300, and Greg Chappell becomes the first player in Australia to score 1,000 runs this season. When his score reached 106, he passed the 1,000, and he's done that in 16 innings. And hit that out towards the boundary. It's hard and high, and that's going out to the member stand area for 4. Willis, the only wicket taker of the innings, and he'll be bowling to Greg Chappell. And Chappell beautifully through the covers. not even moving. 4 runs all the way. And he's hit that on the onside, wide of the fieldsman. It won't be 4. They've taken their second. Let's see if they'll go for 3. I think they'll be comfortable, happy with 2. But he scored, of course, 247 not out over in New Zealand. 131 is his best score against England. And he's hit that hard and high. It's coming out towards the boundary. It won't be 6, but it's going over the fence or hitting the fence on the second bounce. Greg Chappell, 129. Redpath, 76. 1 for 213. Here's Greg to bowl to Greg Chappell. And clipped beautifully out towards square leg. It's going out towards the boundary. That could be 4 again. It's going to be very close. And that's into the fence, or the children cutting it off. But what a great shot from Greg Chappell. He looked at the field and said, where could he hit a 4? And in the one place on the field where a 4 was possible, he scored 4 runs. Greg Chappell, 136. Redpath, 76. 1 for 220. And down it goes towards fine leg, and it's going to be... Is he caught? He's caught, dropped! Well, Greg can't believe it. And Greg Chappell just patted Greg on the back and said, bad luck. Certainly there's more than 30,000 here today. And Redpath's drive through the covers, good shot. That's going to be 4.
It's in the air and it could be out. And he is out. Caught by Lloyd at mid-wicket. Greg Chappell caught Lloyd. The bowling of Arnold for 144. The second wicket has fallen at 235. A partnership of 220 runs. A very fine innings by Greg Chappell. Behind square leg, Amos fielding, 2 more to Walters. Bowled him. Playing right over the top, trying to hit the ball through mid-wicket. Walters is out, bowled by Underwood for 5. And it's 3 now for 242. Good stroke. It's a long chase for Fletcher. In the meanwhile, as normal with a stroke like that, 3 runs have been scored. Australia have 7 wickets in hand and their lead is 363. Now there's a good stroke. It's a long chase for Willis. He won't pick it up into the boundary, and a very good stroke by Edwards. He moves on to 7. He should be scoring runs now. That's better. No one at mid-wicket. It will just get into the fence before Lloyd arrives on the scene. Redpath goes on to 95, much to the crowd's delight. They appreciated that stroke. And the score 3 for 261. There it is, over the top of square leg. It will beat Amos to the fence. Redpath 100, up 103 to him, and Australia 3 now for 270.
Redpath hit that over the top, and it's going in the air. He could be caught at mid-off. He's out. Caught by Old. Redpath caught Old, bowled Underwood 105. Edwards not out 16. Australia 4 for 280.
Well, in fact, it was the declaration, and Ian Chappell set England 400 to win. Then those thunderstorms predicted earlier arrived and lost 95 minutes of play, priceless minutes as far as England are concerned in the saving of this match. The openers then had to go out and survive 55 minutes of Australian pace bowling, with Ian Chappell striving desperately for the breakthrough. Dennis Lillee bowled the first over of the innings, and the batsman is Dennis Amiss.
Well, there's the start. That is the first authentic bouncer we've seen all day. That would be the best ball that Lillee has bowled, because it forced the batsman to make a stroke. And that must have been a chance. McCosker hit straight to him. We better watch this again, because that's the end of the over.
Definitely a chance, and McCosker hurt again. He's having bad luck in that particular position. We might have a look at that on action replay if we can, but most definitely a chance. Here it is. It's a full toss. Hits it straight to McCosker, and he's hit in the groin quite badly there. And McCosker not having a good time at all on the field.
Well, that was one that set up for him. He's cracked that very well through the point area. No fields from the third man, so 4 more. Lillee to Amiss. And that hit him. He turned his back. It appeared to hit him somewhere on the shoulder.
England had 33 on the board without loss at the start of the final day. They needed 400 to win, but that was a forlorn hope. And more to the point was whether or not they could survive 5 hours and 15 overs of Australian bowling, weather permitting, that is. The pitch was still good, and provided they showed enough courage and application during the day, I could see no reason why they shouldn't draw the game and go to Adelaide only 2 down.
Amiss, as is his habit, just letting the ball hit him on the back there, just bending down. He wears probably a pad. And that's a good-looking shot. That should be the first 4 of the morning. That well-timed. Smack into the fence it goes. Back past the bowler, runs here for sure. It's going right down towards the boundary. Edwards is extremely fast, and he'll cut this off, I should think, but they've taken 2. And will it be 4? It's going right down, and it's 4. That was well-timed. Lillee to Amiss. And the appeal for caught behind. He's out. Now, that one really surprised him. He pulled away at the last minute and must have just clipped the edge of the bat or his hand. And Amiss, we can only call that a very vicious ball indeed, caught Marsh, bowled Lillee for 37, England 2 for 70. Lillee, his first ball to Edridge. And that was a nasty one. Edridge didn't move there. It wasn't, I should think, it couldn't be termed a bouncer.
Oh no, it wasn't a bouncer. Edridge just ducked straight into it. It was, as a matter of fact, I was quite surprised when Lillee didn't appeal for LBW. It is a possibility that his ribs could be broken, actually, and I think he'd have to get a precautionary X-ray. He looks hurt quite badly, in fact. So it is a possibility that Edridge might not bat in this innings.
Yes. So Fletcher's coming in next. Already Fletcher's coming through the gates to take over the part, and so the unfortunate captain of England, John Edridge, only facing 1 ball before he retires. Heard, of course, Edridge, if able, can bat later on in the day. Now, on this last day pitch, and Ian Chappell applauding that one from Lillee, just showing what life there is. Great ball from Lillee. It was a magnificent ball.
There are as many men as possible in catching positions. 2 slips and a gully, and the short leg, short forward square leg, and a leg slip.
Out.
Cowdrey out from a bad shot. Caught by Ian Chappell at first slip from the bowling of Walker. Cowdrey playing a pretty tentative stroke outside the off stump. It's quite a strong wind, probably about 10 knots, aiding Thompson. And there's a very good stroke by Fletcher. That's 4 runs. There's a good stroke. That will be 4 runs. It's a long chase for Ross Edwards. He's got no hope of picking that one up. More runs. This will be another 4. This time Ross Edwards isn't bothering to chase it with any speed at all, just jogging away to the fence there. Over the top of slips for 4. We saw Amos and Lloyd batting very well early, but it's tight now as the English batsmen try to consolidate. Well, he's not out caught, but he's been hit on the hand from that nasty rising delivery. Out. Caught by Redpath in the gully. Fletcher out for 11.
Well, Billy back at his mark now, ready to go again, and he'll be bowling to Knott. And runs here. It's going down towards the boundary. Ian Chappell's after it. Now that gives you some idea of Lily's speed. That's going into the fence for 4. It was chopped down into the ground, which should take the pace off the ball. Went high over the head of the slip fieldsman, and yet still made 4. Well, he's cracked that one. Great shot from Greg. And there's that slash of Greg's. That's 4. It's going flying out to the boundary. And he could be, that may have been off the bat. We'll find out here what will happen. The umpire must signal. They've taken 1 coming back for 2. Now watch here. If it's Byers, of course, there was no contact, but it was off the bat. Onside field, we have 3 men you can see there, the orthodox onside positions, and also a deep square leg on the boundary, as well as a short leg. And is that a chance? He could be out. He's out. Caught by Redpath. He's hit that over the head of the mid-off. That's a great shot from Greg again. And that's 6 fours to Greg.
Well, that'll be 4 over the top of cover. We're seeing some most unusual strokes from this man, but my goodness, he can bat. That's his 50. Greg, 51. As Mallet bowls to Titmus. This could be out. Straight up in the air. Thompson under it. Titmus is out. Caught Thompson. Bowled Mallet for 4 runs.
Was not a particularly well judged shot. Titmus, I think, fully expecting the ball to turn, and the incoming batsman is Edrich. Edrich coming back after injury.
It's been a tight, keen day's cricket with Australia trying to get through the remaining English batsmen. Greg, who's made 54 runs in slashing fashion, slashing being used in a perhaps the literal expression in that he's been playing some magnificent strokes at a time when he could be out here though. He is out. Out stumped by Marsh, going down the wicket to Mallet, and as you saw, getting 2 or 3 yards down the pitch, missing, and a very fine piece of stumping by Marsh. Another good stroke. There's no one behind point. chase for Mallett this time. He won't beat it to the fence. Well played by Edrich. That could be out, caught and bowled.
And Edrich has pulled that on the onside. It's going out towards the boundary. And it might be four. It looks like it is. That's Jenner, the 12th man who had to chase that. And that's it, is it? No. Greg Chappell playing up to the crowd.
England bowled. That's the vital breakthrough. Willis bowled by Lilly for 12. Oh, in the air, pass slip. A possible chance. It would have been a great catch, but it's 4 runs. Arnold 14 and 9 for 228. And that is the end of the Test match. Arnold caught McCosker, caught by Greg Chappell from the bowling of Mallett for 14, and England are all out for 228. Mallett finishing with the fine figures of 4 for 21. That is not only the end of the Test match, but Australia have regained the Ashes, having a lead now of 3 matches to 1 in this rubber, with 2 games only remaining.
Ian Chappell, the Australian captain, deserves tremendous credit for this win. He came into the Australian side as captain in 1970-71 at the tail end of that series. Since that day, losing the Test match to Ray Illingworth, he's worked for today to win back the Ashes. He did it here at the SCG, and he is the cricket success story for Australia of the 1970s.